morning, my dear children. Welcome to class 10. Okay, you all are well, I hope. You are fighting with yourself, fighting with your mind, fighting with the standard in which you are running now. But don't worry, all things is going to be very well very soon. Have faith in yourself. Okay, today I'm going to take your first class of history. No, don't tension. Don't do any type of tension, any sort of tension. It's all about a story. History is just a story. Think about it that it is a story which has already taken place before when we were not there. Neither you nor I, and many people were there who were not there. Now, but we need to know our past. How come? How come all the events took place? What is the story behind it? Who had played the major role? How come these incidents happened? Being a responsible citizen, it becomes our duty to know each and everything. It's all about a story, nothing else. Your first lesson of history is nationalism in Europe. Now, my dear children, first word which we need to know is nationalism. Very important word in history. What is the meaning of nationalism? Come on, think about it and tell me. What is the meaning of nationalism? Nationalism. Nationalism. If you divide the whole word into two parts, it comes nationalism. That means love towards nation or love towards a nation state. Now, a question can rise in your mind. What is a nation state? Good question. Nation state means thou it is a nation, but it is not in such a way progressed that it can be called like that. There were many countries at the time who were having nation state, who were known to be known as nation state. That we will read further. When I'll follow up the lesson, that we will read further. Okay. So your textbook, if you will follow, you'll find out that. Now, nation state is clear, nationalism is clear. Now, nationalism in Europe. Now, nationalism in Europe is a very vast thing. Okay, it is a very vast thing, and you know that when a big event takes place, when a big event always when something big takes place, then there are small very small things which plays a very significant role for it. For suppose I'm getting giving you a current example. We all are suffering with anxiety of coronavirus, COVID-19. But are we really conscious about it? Very minor things. To stay healthy, stay safe, stay inside your house. Don't go out. Don't interact with anyone, stranger, or don't be in such a place where crowd is there. But are we really maintaining that? No. It's a very minute thing. If we maintain, then we can be able to cover up. So just like that, nationalism in Europe is a very vast thing. And to make this happen, there were some event which has played a very significant role for it. The first was French Revolution. French Revolution took place in 1789. 1789, the French Revolution took place. And you know what is French Revolution? You have read in class 9. Then also I'm giving a very short synopsis about it. It was about the condition of Germany and France at the time, right? The monarchical rule was there, but then French people or France decided that they are going to maintain a democratic government. They will not allow any king to rule them because they were getting deprived, they were getting departed from what they should get. Okay, so that's why they decided to have a democratic government. And finally, they revolted against the monarchical government. The second event was Napoleon Bonaparte. You know what is the role of Napoleon Bonaparte? After Hitler, Napoleon took hold of Germany, right? And at that time, he made the power strong in France. French people were under his control. He hold up very tight. He hold up France very tight. But you see, when a ruler comes in an area specifically, then the ruler has some positive side as well as some negative side. Actually, Napoleon wanted to rule the country in his own principles. He was thinking something very positive. He was thinking something very vast. He was thinking something new, completely new, which no one has ever thought of. Now, all types of people are there in a country, right? Good, bad, mediocre. Now, when I am going to control a specific area or a specific country or a nation or a state, whatever, I have to keep in mind all sorts of people in consideration. For suppose, when you are going to play with someone, let me give an example like that. When you're going to play in a group, then you have to keep in mind that all sorts of people are going to be over there. It's not that each and every person is going like you. You have to make yourself adjusted. You have to study them first. You have to make them understand that you are quite convenient person, quite reliable person, and so it will take some time. But if you are going to rule whole thing in your own outlook, in your own principles, people may not accept you. People may revolt. Same thing happened with Bonaparte, Napoleon. His views were clear, his thinking was very positive, he thought something good, but few people were there or few countries were there who did not accept it. They did not want any change. কোন রকম change ওরা চাইছিল না. They wanted that the way they were leading the life, let the life go on like that. Because changes means there will be a huge tumultuous situation, ups and down, ins and out. There will be a clumsy situation. You have to overcome that. Now, every person doesn't have, or every country or state or nation, whatever, they doesn't have that much of potential or mentality that whatever changes comes, we will accept it gladly, and we are going to mold ourselves with that. So, few countries revolted. Few countries revolted, and finally, 4 or 5 countries got against Napoleon. They were Prussia, Russia, Austria, and Britain. These 4 countries they fought only alone with Bonaparte, with Napoleon. The Napoleon, it's quite obvious that a single person can never be comfortable or fight a good fight with 4 persons. 1 to 1, it is possible. 1 to 2, maximum it can be possible. But one side there are 4 participants and one side there is one participant. It is not possible for the single participant to control all the 4 at a time and be the winner. It's obvious that these 4 participants are going to win on him. Right? So the same thing happened, and these 4 countries they win. They won, and they finally signed a Treaty of Vienna. They finally signed a Treaty of Vienna where it was written that Napoleon will not interfere in their ruling. They will remain as they are under the monarchical rule. And all this event took place within 1789 to 1815. And this fight or revolt or battle, you can also better say that, the battle between uh, Napoleon Bonaparte and these four countries, PRAB, Prussia, Russia, Austria, and Britain, Prague, Prague, these four countries, when they fought with Napoleon Bonaparte, that battle was known as Battle of Waterloo. It took place in 1815. It took place in 1815. And after that, they signed a Treaty of Vienna. What was written in that? It was written that whatever lifestyle they are having, these four nations, they will remain as they are. They don't want Napoleon's rule. Of course, Napoleon was thinking something good, Napoleon was thinking something positive, but my dear children, this is to be kept in mind that every person has some flaws in it, and his flaws were something very touchy. So people could not accept him totally. People could not accept him gladly or totally, and so they revolted. It's obvious. Now, at that time, Europe was leading in the situation of diversity. I mean, there was less than unity than diversity. Acha. Now, let me recollect how much we have gone through. Nationalism in Europe. What is nationalism? Nation state. Okay. Then some events were responsible for nationalism in Europe. First event was the French Revolution, 1789. Then in 1799, Napoleon started seizing power in France, right? Then comes in 1804, Napoleon showed his power, that he has the capacity to rule. And finally, in 1815, there was the Battle of Waterloo between Napoleon and Prague. Prague stands for Prussia, Russia, Austria, and Britain. And finally, these four nation states, they were able to won on Napoleon Bonaparte and his rule, and they signed a Treaty of Vienna where it was clearly mentioned that they don't want any other's rule. They are happy with the monarchical rule. They don't want any other sort of rule. They want to remain how they are. I hope your first session with me was quite nice and you will be interested to continue further. I'll be back with you very soon. Just go through it, listen, learn it nicely, and in the next class we will succeed that lesson a bit more. Okay? Take care, be healthy. Bye bye.